pretty bowl, the sweet honey and the strand of hair that is in that honey. The analogy of Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala. After Hazrat Uthman radiallahu ta'ala gave his analysis, Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala looks at the bowl and he says, guests, mehman, duyuf, are prettier than this bowl. To serve your guests is sweeter than honey. And to see to it that they leave your place happy and satisfied is more difficult than treading on a strand of hair. Now we must first try and understand the lineage of Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala. The lineage of Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala. Hazrat Ibrahim Khalilullah alayhi salam, cousin of Nabi Karim sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This is the father of our deen. He had this great quality to serve guests, to take care of guests. He would never eat when there was no visitor with him. One afternoon, when it was time to eat, he couldn't find anyone. He walked a very long distance, finally found an elderly person, brought him to the dastarkhan. Who Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam. And he tells him, before we eat, take the name of Allah. The elderly person refuses. He says, then go away from here. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala there and there says, oh Ibrahim, for 80 years this man has never taken my name and I never deprived him of food. Once you asked him to take my name, he didn't, you sent him away. Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam knew what is in between the lines. He got up, he went in search for this man. He pleaded, he said, please come back. You don't have to take the name of Allah. Eat. After he had eaten to his fill, he explained the entire incident. There and there he accepted Shahada. We are explaining the quality of Ibrahim alayhi salam. This goes through the progeny. Certain qualities you will find. That as the children come, there's certain qualities that it's in that lineage, it's in that family. Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala knew the same. Nabi Karim sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam makes mention, Man kana yu'minu billahi wal yawmil akhir falyukrim dhayfa. Whomsoever has iman upon Allah and on the day of Qiyamah, they must honor their guests. So if you're looking at honoring your guests, is a branch of iman. Whomsoever believe in Allah and the day of Qiyamah must honor their guests, so it becomes a branch of iman. Now if you're looking, we go to another riwayah. When Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam saying wording, whoever has iman upon Allah the day of judgment, honor your guests. The first day, go all out. Go all out. Make them comfortable. Spoil them. And then there are only 3 days that you should serve your guests, which will be ikram. And after the 3rd day, if those guests remain, it is sadaqah and khairat. Now, look at Islam. Islam looks at the rights of every individual. Number one, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is stressing the importance of honoring your guests to make their khidmat. But in the same token, the guests should also not take advantage of the host, because they also got a life. How many a times we might have big homes, yes, extra rooms, but when there's some outsider guest there, your whole routine changes. With you, your partner, your children, and so forth. So ikram is there, but seen to one's normal life, Islam looks at the protection of every individual. Every individual. Now if we're looking at this particular mehman nawazi, there are three adabs. One is for the host and one is for guests. As far as the host is concerned, if you are going to now entertain your guests, number one, within your means. Let us go to our functions today. Elaborate. One function is nothing less than $1 million. And that too, after that, you still get comments. The color scheme was not right. The bride's dress did not match the flowers. The food was too strong. Or the food was tasty, but when it came, it was cold. For what? For what are these functions? And we now have become competitive. Because my brother's daughter's wedding was like this. She came in a carriage. My daughter is going to now come and enter with a helicopter. No, it's happening. We're laughing. Seriously. It's the truth. It is fuzul, extravagant, and I will go to the state it becomes haram also. Whether we like it or not, sometimes we have to speak the truth. We have to. There are people that are dying that do not have food, and we've got money to waste, extravagant. Give it to the groom, give it to the bride, start your life. Give them, tell them to go for Hajj, fulfill their farz. This is what's happening, extravagance to this ummah. Within your means, even if you're wealthy, doesn't give you the right to go to that extent. Let us take walima. Which is the best walima? Simple walima, where the poor are also invited. In these so-called functions, do we even have the guts to invite the poor? Because he doesn't fit that particular environment. He might even embarrass me and you. This is it. Do we think of those that are working for us? Do we think about the muazzins? Do we think about all these ordinary poor people? And we sitting there lavishly and with extravagance, and that too we don't even make shukr. Number one, within your limits and not extravagance. Number two, make sure that when you feed your guests, it is halal. Halal, very important. Because if you give your guests one luqma of haram, you are going to be answerable for all his actions on the day of Qiyamah. Number three, when it is time for salah, do not let your salah become qaza and nor the salah of your guests. Especially, weekends, in the afternoons, we're having our braai and so forth. We make jamaat. By the time you know what? Salatul Dhuhr, time is over, it becomes qaza. You must be very wary about the time of salah. That is the host. The guest also. When you invite it, don't just go and sit where you want. Wait for where the host tells you to sit. Number two, whatever is presented in front of you, partake and eat from that. Number three, after eating, make the dua. Make a dua. Give him dua. Nabi Karim sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us. Make dua. Now, Today, mashallah, you know when we got dawah, and when we go, I don't eat this. Doctors say my food must be cooked in olive oil. I must only have organic foods. And this and that. And we become so difficult for the host. We give them so much taklif. But all the demands you got when you invited is one. When you come home, you can't say anything. If that wife of yours puts some bread, you like it, you eat. If you don't, go to bed. You got no option. Why is it when we go out, we make all this takalif? Make it difficult for the host. You can't eat, make it eat a little, you won't die. Like that we say, no, I'm diabetic. I don't have sugar. Let the cakes come, bismillah. Diabetes is gone. Let the barfi come, diabetes is gone. When it suits us, eat little what you can eat, make sugar, make as if you're eating, alhamdulillah, move on. Don't make it difficult for the host. And always give dua. Dua is very important. There's different du'as we learn from, there are manqul from hadith of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. أفطر إنكم الصائمون وأكل طعامكم الأبرار وصلت عليكم الملائكة. You're giving, the host, you have now fed the person that is fasting, not the shari'i fast. For 1-2 minutes we don't eat, we have fasted during that 1-2 minutes. It's not a shari'i fast. And you have fed the pious, that means a believer. وَصَلَّتْ عَلَيْكُمُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ. May the angels send peace upon you. One day one Moulana had a dawah. After the meals, he made this dua, أَفْطَرَ إِنْدَكُمُ الصَّائِمُونَ وَأَكَلَ طَعَامُكُمُ الْأَبْرَارُ وَصَلَّتْ عَلَيْكُمُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ إِلَّا جِبْرِيلَ. That he gave the whole dua, and he says, may the angels send peace upon you, excepting Jibreel Amin. So the host is saying, Hazrat, why are you depriving me of Jibreel Amin's peace upon you? He says, the tea still didn't come. The tea still didn't come. Give dua. When you give dua, you make the host feel good. The sacrifice, they made an effort. They go all out just to serve us, to prepare that food. By giving dua, alhamdulillah, that is the least we can do. Least we can do. What is put in front of you, eat that. Today what happens? We stretch. No, I only eat the leg, or I only eat the wing, or I only eat the breast, or whatever it is. Why do we make life so difficult? Do it at home. But you can't, as I told you. There, whatever is given, bismillah. What else true? Then again, mashallah, big tari, big dawah. Now, in India, when you have that big tari, you get the rice all over, and they put the asli ghee, the genuine ghee, that whitish ghee in the center. And you take little at a time, you pour it on your side, you mix it with your rice, whatever it is, and you eat. And it's tasty, believe me. Alhamdulillah, the host came with a big thali. 5 people are there. Now there's asli ghee. Now they all are planning and plotting, how do I get the ghee coming to my way? So the first one got himmat. Takes his finger in the center. Allah eke. Allah is one. So the ghee starts trickling down. The brother next to him will say, hey, now the ghee is going. I have to think quicker. He says, Ati Allah wa Ati Rasul, 2. The third brother takes 3 fingers. He says, 3 is sunnah. The fourth one says, now what do I do? He says, Alhamdulillah, Islam boasts of 4 khulafa Rashidin. The 4th one says, now, 5 pillars of Islam. So now 5 trickles of ghee is coming towards him. The host is left behind. He don't get ghee. He only gets ghee now when Mehman comes. So he also gets chucked in. So he comes, he says, brothers, alhamdulillah, he makes everything. This ummah is one. Brothers, let us learn etiquette. Sometimes the eyes are bigger than the stomach. Become very greedy. And I'm going to tell you something, and it's the truth again. And everybody acknowledges it, but we never guilty, surprisingly. Go for Hajj. And they dish food in the hotels. And you have to eat buffet system. And all of a sudden there's chicken. I'm speaking of South Africans. Yes, South Africans. People that can buy a probably entire chicken plant. When we see the chicken, because we haven't eaten for some days, we go wild. And we will dish full. We're not considering the cube behind us. And then when we sit on the table, we can't even eat one piece. And the rest of the plate goes into the bin. And others have been deprived of food. It's us, I'm telling you, it's us. They'll tell you in Arafat how much South Africans waste. You know what we do with the food? After we have dished out so much, we can't eat it, we put it under the buses. We're going to be answerable. We're going to be answerable. Waste it. All the barakah we throw away. Eat how much you can. Make shukr. Make ikram. Think of others. It is important. Do not let your guests go away saddened or disheartened. Today it happens. Many a times we invited. And the way the host carries on also, sometimes, you don't want to, you just want to go away. You find it so difficult. And that too, there's so much, how can you say, cosmetic front of ours. When you go and leave your guests, now they're going in the car. Jazakallah for coming. It was so nice having you. You made our night. What an enjoyable night we had, or afternoon we had. The moment the car pulls away, I tell your wife, hey, don't ever invite them again. Don't ever invite them again. Same with the mehman. Hey, the tastiest food, mashallah. Hey, tell your wife, better take the recipe, huh? I've never eaten chicken like this before. There's that, you overinflate. The moment you pull off, you know what, the salt wasn't right. It wasn't cooked properly. Why must we overdo things? Be yourself. Be yourself. Honor your guests. Very important. It's part of our iman. But don't hurt anyone's feelings. Then you get the extreme. In a person's house, you tell him, I don't like this. No, it's too strong. Or it's too mild. It's too this. Yes, if you come in for some time, you sit, you make the person, you make them aware so that they prepare, fine, that's fine when there's pickle. If it's one meal, let it go. You won't die. So this is the adab Islam teaches us. And let's go back to Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala. This is his likes. He said, guest is what? Is prettier than the bowl. To serve the guest is sweeter than honey. And to make them leave happily is more difficult than treading on the strand of hair. In another hadith, which is very lengthy, from Nabi Karim sallallahu alaihi wasallam, each one makes 3 of the lights. And when he came to the lights of Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala, the first thing he says, the thing I love most in this dunya, al-khidmatu lid-dayf. Number 1, to honor guests, to make their khidmah. As-sawmu bis-sayf, to fast during the hottest day of the year. And the third, al-darbu bis-sayf, to fight with the sword for the pleasure of Allah. These are the 3 things which he loves most. The first is to honor his guests. One day, there was no food. And he went looking for work, and he had to take care of this orchard. And he was given a handful of dates only. with the hard work that he did. He's hungry. He's hungry. And if me and you are hungry, we don't care of the next person. We will gobble that food. He searches for somebody, and who does he decide to go to? Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I've got this dates. Bismillah. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam eats. Happily he eats. Even then, he does not eat it alone. Who? Hazrat Ali radiallahu. This was the unique quality. Today, sometimes, you meet someone, a friend after long, probably in the masjid, telling, brother, come eat. But in your mind, you're hoping he says no. And if he says yes, now you're planning and plotting, going home. Because today, we're not prepared to present simple food. Why are you plotting? You never told me this, that, I should have prepared. Simple, you got eggs, put eggs. That ikhlas, you do it simple, that simple food, wallahi, the taste is better. I'm speaking of the elderly people. There was a time where weekends you just go and visit family and unannounced, and wallahi, they take the old curry or whatever it is, they mix it with eggs and whatever it is, even toast and tea. But the taste in that was subhanallah. Subhanallah. Today the food is presented so beautifully. The pastries and cakes, you're scared to eat because you will now spoil the design. We're more worried of the presentation rather than the food itself. Somebody comes knocking at your door for work. You come, brother, will you have tea, coffee or cold drink? He just has to pause. You sure you won't have? You're putting him off already. Maybe he wants to say yes. Now even if you want, you're trying to tell him don't have. Then you change the topic. And now when he goes out, brother, you sure you don't want tea? Now he's left the house. Let us not do that. Open our hearts. Inshallah. We open our hearts, Allah will shower His mercies upon us. So this is a unique quality of a believer, to honor their guests, to make khidmah. Allah Ta'ala grant us tawfiq. I'm not, and believe me, I'm not exaggerating. Because maybe I won't be invited again. Pietermaritzburg are really taking care. Alhamdulillah, the khidmah they're doing is genuine. Allah accept their khidmah, inshaAllah. And Allah just, only we can leave it in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah bless the people of Pietermaritzburg. Ameen. And whoever is making khidmat, Allah grant them barakah, inshaAllah. Ameen. Ameen wa akhiru da'wah.